the game, cause see the boxing voice.
Welcome back, gang, for the first time and hopefully many more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notifications right here, this little bell, so you can get those emails every time we go live.
Jay Hardcore from the Boxing Voice. Got Barry Hunter and Kenny Porter. Dynamic duo. How y'all doing today?
I'm great, bro. I know Kenny feel the same way I do.
Feeling good, feeling great.
No, that's right, man. We got this Headbanger show coming up Sunday. How everybody looking right now?
But it's good, man. You know, just itching and raring to go. You know, of course, it's the first time we've been home in a while, you know, in the DMV area. So we're looking forward to it, man. We got some good bouts. These are not no easy bouts. Most of these guys are matched up, you know, pretty even. But nevertheless, you know, when the lights and cameras sit on, you got to perform, and that's what matters the most.
Yeah, definitely that for sure. Lamont is looking pretty good, man. From what I understand, Mr. Porter just told me that he's still outworking everybody in the gym right now.
And he saw it, so, you know,
It's amazing.
You know, it was, well, of course, this is my brother here, so Sean was in the gym. Sean been down here for a while, you know, and
we coming
so
back.
Happy
We coming back.
that he went out and did what he was supposed to have done, you know, and again, you know, like Kenny said, we took him out of his comfort zone. Speaking about Sean now, you know, and put him in a whole, you know, another setting, and you know, it paid off, bro. You know what I mean? And the strategy was just crazy, man. You know what I mean? Because everybody was ready to see Sean the brawler. You know what I mean? Oh, he gonna headbutt you, and he gonna use his forearm, blah 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 blah. Well, from the looks of things, his opponent doing the same thing, and he trained that way. And we love Ugas, a good dude. But nevertheless, I thought that, you know, it was masterful with the strategy. I thought that Ugas, as skillful as he is, wasn't able to make an adjustment to that. So we knew going into the fight that that pace would be a certain pace, and it would be the same pace from 1 through 12. You know what I mean? And we was banking on that. And it all came to pass, man. And thank God Sean is still, you know, WBC world champion.
You called it. You said he wouldn't change.
Wouldn't change, you know what I mean?
Change.
But that's my job. You know, I go out and do the scouting, I give Kenny the data, and Sean the data, and then we go over it, and then there it is. You know what I mean?
What's crazy about that was not the way we trained, nor was that the game plan.
Yeah.
The way we trained in the game plan, we trained like headbangers. That's what we did. We trained like headbangers. But God told me that day, he said, this is what you're going to do. And literally came to me in twilight, dozing off into my sleep. And I heard him speak, and I was like, whoa. Woke back up, and I said, Sean, I got to tell you something. He said, what is it? I said, God told me to tell you something. I said, but I can't tell you till we get our gloves on and get ready to go to the ring. So we went the rest of that day and did what we did. And just before we got ready to go to the ring, he said, what was that you supposed to tell me God told you? I said, God told me he can't touch you. He can't keep up with you. He can't keep up with your hand speed. He can't keep up with your footwork. He can't keep up with your punch output. He can't keep up with your movement. He can't keep up with you. So in reality, when a lot of people watch that fight and see whatever, boxing is opinions. It's all about opinions. You do not shoot a basket and go in and we get to score. You not score the touchdown and then go up on the board and we see what it is. It's someone's opinion after every round. You're going to see it one way. The judge going to see it one way. The person next to you going to see it a different way. It's just the way boxing is. It's an opinion. But with that being said, in my opinion, and also Sean's, this was one of the most beautiful displays of boxing he's had in his professional career. And whether people believe it or not, it was one of his easiest fights.
He outboxed the Cuban. And
that don't happen.
That's not easy.
A master boxer, you know, and Ugas, if you go back, he had a stellar amateur career. He started off in the pros real good. You know, the man could fight. You know what I mean? But the war that he was expecting never happened. You know what I mean? And so he was waiting on it. And then when I saw him throwing his hands up, and he was frustrated that Sean didn't give him that fight that he prepared for, and he never made the adjustment.
You said he wouldn't make the adjustment. Yeah. But let's talk about Lamont Peters.
Yeah, we had to get that out of the way first.
Yeah.
And so now, again,
I wanted to say what he was already saying.
Yeah.
I was amazed at Lamont, his work ethic, before training, during training, and then after training. And then not only that, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, nutritionally, this kid is walking around. I'm gonna call him a kid because that's what he's looking like. That's the way he's moving. That's the way he carries himself. But this kid's walking around with different type of nutritional food and snacks and things like that. Now he got everybody in there wanting to drink certain drinks, eat certain foods. It's a mentality that he brings to everything that he's doing. And I praise him. I can't give him the highest praises. So I want Sean here every fight the rest of the way. If we can't come here every fight the rest of the way, it's only because the planes ain't working and the trains ain't working. But we're gonna be here.
That ain't happening. So we, like Kenny said, man took time out, clear his mind, get his body right, the whole nine. That's the first time in his whole career, from amateurs all the way up to the pros, that he's ever done that. Normally, we'll go through what we go through. We go fight, win, lose, or draw, and then we turn around maybe a week or two, depending on the fight and how rough it was, back in the gym, training. And this is the first time that in his whole career that he has ever walked away from the game, didn't talk about boxing. I never discussed boxing with him, and cleared his mind and got his body right. You know what I mean? So I take my hat off to him for that, man, and it was much needed. You know what I mean? So he came back a better overall fighter, a better overall person. Anthony, one of the most patient fighters in boxing. Has been in position, this man 30-some-odd wins and one loss due to a disqualification against Brandon Rios. Has been #1 across the board. We've been called for certain fights. I remember they called me for Gamboa, and every one of the fights that they called us for, we always accept the challenge. But for whatever reason, somebody on the other end say, well, no, we're gonna go this way. So that's part of the politics of boxing. Had a few injuries he battled, but the injuries wasn't what stopped him from getting those fights. It wasn't his call, it wasn't my call, it's just boxing. And sometimes some will get dealt a hand, that's a beautiful hand. Then you may have another one that's, for whatever reason, he got to pluck his way through the cards to get that type of hand. And so Anthony, one of the ones that I've been plucking, trying to get that hand. And so hopefully this fight against Mendez, turn out the way that we think that it should turn out, and lead him to finally the world title shot that he's so much deserved.
Yeah, because on paper, he's stepping up. I mean, this guy is tough.
Yeah, we know him.
He done been in with a little bit of everybody.
We know him well. You know what I mean? We know him very, very well. In fact, he was in the gym working out during the time Anthony was in the gym working out, and Lamont in Florida when Mike Tyson was doing his thing. So we know him, good dude. In fact, him and Lamont went to see the Miami Heat play. So they hung out together, you know what I mean? So they good dude. He knows, just like we know, it's just straight business. This is what we do. This ain't personal, man. If don't nobody fight based on a relationship, it wouldn't be no damn fight. You know what I mean? So that's what it is.
That's so true. Switching gears. Let's say that Pacquiao doesn't fight Earl, and Sean and Earl get it on. Hey, when you say about how it's, how it is about, what I'm basically saying is that you all grew up together. It's not gonna be a tough fight for you, Kenny.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. No, I'm gonna say, right. Now I'm gonna say this. Before, leading up to, is nothing but love. And I mean that in the truest sense, because I done been all around the world with that kid. Right. But obviously I done been all around the world with my kid.
Right.
But during that time, of that 12 rounds or less, me and this man right here and the other guys that I'm gonna assemble to bring in, and you know, Lamont and Anthony, we're gonna all do everything we can to disrupt everything they got and take everything they got away from them. You know, to get our hands raised on fight night. Then after that's over with, it's back to the love. But no, it won't be hard at all. It's you know, it's part of the business.
It's definitely part of the business, because you all had to do it with Lamont and Earl.
Oh,
Same thing.
I mean, like Kenny said, and EJ himself know that that's our guy. You feel me? And
yeah.
I'm so proud of him, and he is where we thought he would be in this boxing game. And Lamont was the first one who said out of his mouth, he said, I like him. When we were up in Colorado,
yeah.
He said, I like him. He said, and if he stays straight, he's gonna be a world champion. That was coming from Lamont himself. So there's no surprise to me. And I'm gonna ride with him all the time.
You know that's right.
You know what I mean? So what it is, so if the stars align and him and Sean should happen to get down, again, you talking about two of the most classy cats in boxing. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be love before and love after.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. And both of them just showed, we knew they both can box. And the world finally got to see Sean actually box and show his skills, opposed to, you know how they normally say he just come and bum rush everybody.
Like I said before, it was the decision, it was a masterful move.
Yes, it was.
Well, it came from the master. The move came from the master.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
But to switch up a strategy like that, because initially, we can talk about shit now. Initially, we was going doggy first and then box him last. You know what I mean? Make him take the chances and run him into stuff. But Kenny switched it up, you know, like he said, he got that call in.
That divine invention.
Got that call.
If the man himself give you a plan,
you better go
bruh,
with it.
You gotta go with it. And so
you actually gave him the game plan right when he was going up the steps?
Well, it wasn't when we was going up the steps. We were already gloved up in the back room.
Oh, okay.
And he says to me, he says, so what was that you told me? You was gonna tell me that God told you today. And when I told him right then, I didn't go into any details other than to say, he told me he can't keep up with your speed. He can't keep up with your footwork. He can't keep up with your punch output. He can't keep up with your aggressiveness. He cannot keep up with you. So it wasn't like we even at that point said, okay, so here's what we're gonna do, or I want you to use this combination of that. No, that's all was said. We walked up the ring. He believed in me because he believed in God. He didn't believe in me. So we believers, we got down, we prayed.
And he not called himself God, so.
Oh yeah, I know that, I know that. No. He said it was divine intervention.
Yes, we believe, we're believers. So we got down and we prayed, and while we was praying, we was actually talking to each other. And then when we got back up and they announced him and everything, we brought our heads together, we was on one accord, you know. So they say when two or more brought together and his name is spoken, he's there as well, right? So that's what we went with. And in between each round, and he's coming back, and I'm talking to him, and I'm telling him at some point, I called him, I said, it was about like after 5-6 rounds, I said, man, you missed a clean tonight. You boxing clean, you boxing beautifully, you're doing everything I want you to do, you know. And he had some questions about how he should continue to go about doing it, but he never questioned what he was supposed to do. So no, it wasn't just walking up them steps, it was just what was said to him, and then we went in there and we did it. And you know, I'm just thankful, humbled, appreciative that God chose me, chose us, you know, to bless us, you know, another victory, another opportunity to come here and support my brother and be involved with what they doing tonight, what they doing tomorrow, what they doing Sunday night, and watch these guys continue to do what they do, because it's amazing to me when I look back over my life. It's amazing to me. I remember these headbanger boys when they were 10, 11, 12 years old. You know, I remember the hardest, toughest fight still to this day that Sean has ever had in his life was against one of Barry's champions when Sean was 10 years old. And I'll never forget it, you know what I mean? And so it's just amazing to me to watch these guys thrive, grow up into the men that they are, and be the champions that they are, even if they're not, you know what I'm saying? You're not world champion, but they're champions.
Yeah.
You know, they're
They're
champions.
men.
Yeah, they're men. They're men. And that's all due, you know, to God and to this man right here, leading them.
Yes, indeed. Well, listen there, fellas, I really appreciate you all, as usual. Stay hardcore with the Boxing Voice, and we out of here.
If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, entitled betting shows. The list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.